Hey guys, hi to all my Polish friends from Fabrizio Romano, here as always together to discuss about transfers and also about the journalism life. That is not always so easy, but it's absolutely funny and fantastic. So here to answer your question. And the first one about how does my day looks during the transfer window. This is something that is really easy to the script for me because I wake up really early in the morning, like 9, something like that. And I start calling people, sending messages, checking all my social media platforms. So it's like my work is part of my daily life. It's not something separated. So when someone is asking me what time you finish at work today, for me it's impossible to answer. For me, my work is my life, especially during the transfer window. So I spend the whole day on my phone, calling people, texting people, trying to check news, to give and receive new information. So it's a really daily basis of phone. So while I'm eating at lunch, while I'm eating at dinner, sometimes I don't have lunch at all because I try to focus on my work and maybe eat directly in the night or in the evening. So it's really 100% focused on football and 100% focused on calling and texting people everywhere, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, really everywhere. It depends day by day, but it's really mad. It's almost 18, 19 hours on the phone, especially in the key days of the transfer window when big things are happening or in the final days before the deadline day. I've never thought of becoming an agent, honestly. This was never in my plans. First of all, because I'm not a big fan in general in life of doing things at 70, 60, 80% of your skills. I prefer to go 0 or 100. This is my mentality, black or white. And I feel really comfortable in journalism. I love journalism. I love the feeling I have when I break some story, when I check some story, when I have some information, way more than being into an industry where I would not feel comfortable as I feel as a journalist. All people who are my friends now would become my enemies. All people would, of course, fight me because I would be an enemy and no longer a friend. And I don't want this kind of feeling. I want to feel good in the industry where I'm working. And so this is why I always focus on being a journalist and not on being an agent. It's something that I would not do. Also because for me it's not about the money, but it's about being comfortable with a daily basis. So they told me many times, why you don't want to become an agent? This is a possibility, but for me it's 100% focus in journalism. I like the relationship with the agents, with the directors, with the presidents, and with the players, of course, more than being in a fight every single day, waking up and being faster of someone else in the transfer of journalism. This is something that I would never do in the transfer of players in the case of the agents. So I'm focused on journalism 100%. I like to answer this question about agents or players or club offering me money to write news about potential transfers. I know that maybe it could sound strange, but really it never happened to me. Maybe because they know how I am and they know I could create a big issue in case they offer me money to share news, but it really never happened. Not even one single time that someone told me, please share this news and I pay you some money for that. Never happened. First of all, it would be illegal, and second, it's something that I would never do, also because it's my own face and my own name. I'm not a website or a paper or a TV or I don't know, or a radio maybe. I'm myself, and when I use my face and my name to share some information or some positive thought about some player or some positive news, is just because I'm using my reputation, and I would never put my reputation in danger just to receive some money. For me, journalism is one thing, and then is an important thing. So it never happened, really. No one offered me money to speak positively about some transfer or negatively about some other transfer. I've never received that kind of money from players. I've never received anything from clubs, so I don't know why people say that, but no, this is not part of my life. My most satisfying exclusive news was, by far, I would say, Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid. That was a really big one. I really loved that news, because for me it was really special to speak about Real Madrid. It's an enormous club, and so to have an exclusive news on Real Madrid is always something not easy at all. And also about Zinedine Zidane. Zinedine Zidane is a legend of the game since I was a kid. It was Zidane everywhere, as a player, as a manager, as a legend of the game. And so to break the story of Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid and decided to leave the club was something really big. Probably changed my life as a journalist because it was a very big one. And so I would mention that one. Zinedine Zidane deciding to leave Real Madrid was a really incredible story for me. If they told me 10 years ago, one day you will break a story on Real Madrid manager, I would say probably this is not possible, and it happened. So I really loved that one, and I was very proud when I shared the news of Zinedine Zidane. To see the news everywhere in France, in Spain, mentioning my name was something really special. My biggest flop or deal collapsed, but of course I think this is part of the game. I'm not a machine. I'm human, and when you are human and when you try to do things, it's normal that sometimes things are not going as you expect. Also because in the transfer market, what I try to explain always is very clear that you can't control the transfers. What I say is I can't sign contracts, I can't sign documents, I can't have medical tests. So if sometimes the deals are done and then they'll collapse, like Hakim Ziyech to Paris Saint-Germain was a done deal. Then if they send the documents 1 minute after the deadline, this is not on me. I told you the reality. Ziyech was going to Paris Saint-Germain and was a done deal. Then it collapsed. I said, here we go, but I would say here we go again because the deal was 100% done. So it happens. It happened with Ziyech. It also happened with Jorginho Wijnaldum going to Barcelona. It was done. The medical staff of Barcelona was in the Dutch national team camp to undergo the medical test with Jorginho to prepare everything, and then Wijnaldum in the night received the proposal from PSG. The deal collapsed, and many people told me, you said here we go with Barcelona. Yes, but this was agreed. They had a medical in place, so I can't sign contracts. Then if players, if families sometimes change their mind, this is not on me, but I think this is the beauty of the transfer market, that today something is happening and tomorrow it could change. So it's not just about Fabrizio. It's in general, I think what is fascinating of the transfer market is that things can change. I used it, here we go, for the first time for a Manchester United transfer. Honestly, I don't remember which one. It was absolutely not planned with any friend or any agency or anything else. It was just me tweeting every single day on the news, and so updating for weeks and weeks. And then what happened is that one day I said, okay, here we go, like saying, okay, finally it's over. And in that moment, I saw people reacting like, Fabrizio, can you use here we go also for Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and more. And so I said, why not? So the following transfer news, when I knew that the deal was done, I started to use here we go. And that's how the here we go story started, but it was absolutely not planned with any agency, with any marketing strategy. This is not on me. This was created with people excitement, and so this is why I love it, and this is why I keep using that. So that's it. My key moments of breakthrough were two. One, the first one in Italy, was about Mauro Icardi joining Inter, because I had the exclusive story of Mauro Icardi from Barcelona to Sampdoria, and then from Sampdoria to Inter was a very big story. I broke that in November, and so it helped me to show my skills in Italy, here in Italy where I live, and so that was a crucial one for me to understand, also for myself, that I wanted to do this in life, journalism, but also I would say the key one on international stage was Bruno Fernandes to Man United. I spent the whole summer, while the reports in Portugal and in England were saying that the deal was done with Man United, I said it's not done. He's not going to Manchester United. And then he didn't join Manchester United in the summer. Then in January I said, now yes, now Bruno is going to Manchester United. And I said that with a picture, an exclusive picture of his agent, Miguel Pino, together with Bruno on the plane, prepared to fly to Manchester. That was a very big story. And I saw that all the people were super excited in Manchester, but I would say in English football to follow that kind of story. And so for me it was absolutely crucial moment. So I've got sometimes, yes, some news unbelievable that I decided not to publish and then at the end were true. For example, I knew about Cristiano Ronaldo returning to Manchester United summer 2021. Way before than I published. So I was very careful because it was Cristiano Ronaldo, it was Manchester United and Juventus, two very big clubs, and all the reports were about Manchester City. I got the information about Manchester United 2 days before it was public, but they asked me, wait a bit, because it could create a big problem, maybe Man City can try again. So they asked me to be careful, and at the end was truth. So probably I was waiting too much. There was potentially a big exclusive, but okay, that's life. For me, the relationship with my sources is really, really important. I don't have any people managing my social media accounts, not on Twitter, not on Instagram, not on Facebook, nowhere. It's always me. I like to take care of everything, also because in the transfer market, if you change one single word, it could change the whole sense of the story. And so for me, it's a matter of respect for the people following me to make sure they are aware of the fact that everything is published with Fabrizio Romano is managed by Fabrizio Romano and not by other people. I would never trust anyone to publish an information, a news or anything with my name. So everything is managed by myself. I just have a team to help me with the production of the videos on YouTube because I'm not good at editing video at all, but nothing else. For me, all the rest is managed by myself on my social media platforms, and I love it. I want to continue like that. It can happen that I publish transfer news before maybe the players knew about that. It can happen. I don't know how often because I'm not able always to check if the player knows or not. But it happens. It happens sometimes with some Bundesliga transfer. Also last January transfer window, some of my friends told me, you knew the story of Jorginho going to Arsenal, and so of Arsenal and Chelsea negotiating for Jorginho before than Jorginho. So Jorginho was still not aware of this direct negotiation between Arsenal and Chelsea. Then they called him during the night and he gave the green light to Arsenal move. But this was a curious one. It happens. I think it happens. Not all the players are obsessed with transfer. Some of the players prepare to spend their time with the family and then to be aware of the story when the story is over, more than following everything. Then it depends, player by player, case by case. In my case, I like to be on every single story, every single minute, so it's different. Sometimes, yes, players contact me to understand about potential moves. I will never say which player contacted me, I'm sorry, but my sources are super secret. But yes, it happens that they ask me. It happens very often that they send me a message maybe on Instagram. How is the situation? How is it going? Do you think I can leave? What's happening to that club? Because maybe I can go there. So it's funny. It's funny. I can tell you that for a January transfer window transfer, I can't mention which one, try to understand me, but for a January transfer window transfer, it was between two clubs fighting for a player. And I received a message from two players of two different clubs asking me, but it's true that he's joining us or he's joining the others. So that was mad, but it was absolutely funny for me. And for the biggest clubs in Europe, yes, but it's really case by case. It's not easy to say this club is answering, this club is not answering, this director is answering, this CEO is answering. It really depends, club by club, transfer by transfer, because sometimes on some transfer they want to keep it secret, sometimes no. It depends. It's case by case. But I would say yes, I have good relationship with many clubs. Sometimes the clubs is helping, sometimes the agent is helping, sometimes the player is helping, sometimes the CEO is helping, sometimes the manager is helping. So it depends. It's really different kind of cases. But you have many people into the clubs and into the agencies. So I would say it's pretty open now. They understand the value of the transfer market. Then my top 3 international transfer journalists is really impossible for me to mention because I have too many friends and I have respect for many of them. So 3 is not enough for me to mention. I can mention really many around Europe. For example, I'm a big fan of David Ornstein. I think he's doing an incredible job. But also Mario Cortegana in Spain, and in Germany I have many friends too. So really difficult to mention just one. Also in France, in other countries, in Italy, of course. It's complicated, but I think there are many good transfer journalists, and this is positive. I'm not jealous. I'm not feeling I'm in a race at all. I don't like when they tell me you are the king, you're the best. No, I think this is good for the industry to have many good transfer journalists, as you are doing an excellent job in Poland, and I'm sure this is the best way for the whole industry. And how I handle hate. Sometimes it's not easy. When it's too much, I don't like it. When it's criticism, I like it, because criticism is always positive. But when it's too much, is something that I try to stop, to send a message and say, okay, why you are saying that to me? So this is the situation for me with hate. I just try to send a private message and say, why you say that if it's too much? If it's just criticism, I'm open, no problem to answer. When they tell me that I copied news, I saw that they say something like that. For me, until it's people in the social media, okay, it's good, they can say whatever they want. When it's some journalists to say that, as it happened with some Dutch journalist a few months ago, I told them, okay, let's have a show on your podcast and let's invite some of my sources. I can invite some of the players, of the agents, or the directors live to tell you, no problem, let's speak about that. And they disappeared. They didn't contact me to do that. They blocked me on all the social media. So it's too easy to criticize and say that and then don't have a public face-to-face, no? It's too easy to call, send a message, and then disappear. Too easy. So I'm really relaxed. I speak with football people every single day, and so I have nothing to copy. And I like to mention when someone is breaking the story. If I were not a journalist, I would be nothing else, I would say. If I was not a journalist, it was impossible for me to think about something else. Since I was 15, 14, I always had this idea of journalism, and so I was never considering anything else. Probably something in football, but for me the only way was to do a journalist, not to play football, because for me it was really difficult. I'm a good centre-back, but not at top level. What I do during the transfer window is closed is to live a bit more relaxed way, so try to enjoy also my family, my friends, but also to stay in touch with all the football people every single day. It's too easy to call people in July, in June, in August and ask how is going this transfer if you don't call them and if you don't meet them in February, in March, in April, in May, in September, in October, in November, in December. So for me it's crucial to be in touch also when the transfer window is closed, to have a good conversation every single time. And so for me the period when the transfer window is closed is absolutely important as the transfer window open and the contacts during the transfer window. So this has always been my priority, to be in touch in the best way also when a transfer window is closed. And then my favorite pizza, I'm not gonna surprise you. My favorite pizza is margherita, the traditional one. I'm from Napoli, is the city of pizza, and here in Napoli they don't like to have creative pizzas. So at least my family has always been like, be traditional, be classic, be simple, be humble. And so for me my favorite pizza is absolutely margherita, the usual one. I love it. I'm a big pizza fan. Sometimes I just try some pizza with Nutella, but it's of course as a dessert, not as a main dish. So this is the only exception I have, but my favorite pizza by far is the margherita. Thanks a lot for all your questions. Thanks a lot, as always, to be together, and see you soon with Fabrizio.